gender, sexual orientation, religious and non-religious identity, even your national affiliation. This is a human issue. This has to do with what kind of human being you choose to be. Do you choose integrity, or do you choose cowardliness and complicity? Do you choose compassion, or do you choose carelessness? Compassion. And do you choose to be part of the greatest tradition of the species, which is to have resilience and resistance in the face of domination, occupation, exploitation, subjugation, degradation? That's what we stand for. Now, I come out of a tradition of a great black people who've been hated for 400 years and still teach the world about a love supreme like John Coltrane. That's been terrorized, but called for freedom for everybody, traumatized it, produce wounded healers, not just wounded hurters. And so when I see these students here on hunger strike, when I see these students in Kent, I know that they're part of a global movement, a global awakening that's trying to accent the best of who we are as human beings, and it is prophetic. It's the best of our secular traditions. It could be Karl Marx, or it could be Emma Goldman, or it could be Ella Baker. It's the best of our Judaic traditions, from Amos to Esther, that says justice for everybody, not just one group. It could be my own revolutionary Christian tradition that's been dipped in slavery and Jim Crow and lynching and Jane Crow, and comes out with a smile and style and says, I want to be in solidarity with anybody who's suffering. And today, the litmus test begins with what you have to say about Gaza. And it can be from the Quran, the best of the Quran, that says, like Malcolm X, I will be in solidarity with those who suffer. That's what we're trying to do. And so we have to be very honest. Socrates was once viewed as an exemplar of parrhesia, which is frank speech, plain speech, fearless speech, unintimidated speech, saying what's on your mind and your heart and soul, just like a blues woman or a jazz man. And when you speak what's on your heart today, if you can't say something about the genocide in Gaza, the ethnic cleansing in Gaza, the apartheid conditions in Gaza, then shame, shame, shame on you. So I come from the belly of the American imperial beast, and I say to my president, you are a war criminal. Shame on you for enabling genocide. Shame on you for enabling genocide. And they say, Brother West, you sound like you're full of hatred. Well, let us send a message to the world. We not here to hate anybody. We hate genocide. We hate domination. We hate occupation. We hate exploitation. Don't let anybody tell you that somehow you are anti-Jewish and anti-Semitic. No.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Quit lying on us. We have a moral and a spiritual dimension to our movement, and nothing will stop us. We will be faithful unto death. And we when the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. To go back to Balfour, where is it? 1917.
Yeah.
Linked to this institution. This institution has the best and the worst. No doubt about it. I met the best, Brother Jay. And the worst, white supremacists, male supremacists, predatory capitalists, anti-indigenous, deeply sexist, homophobic, transphobic, sometimes too anti-Catholic. That's the worst. But we have to tell the story how the British Empire handed over a state where somebody else was there. Empires have no authority to impose a state on anybody. Then you lie, just like in the United States when the European settlers arrived in the United States and they said, there's no people here, it's just buffaloes and Indians. Well, no, Indian babies have the same value as any other baby in the world. And those 700,000 Arabs were there. They are human just like me and just like you. They are not invisible, and that's why we will not allow their descendants in Gaza or West Bank to be invisible either. Then in 1948, with the U.S. dominant United Nations providing the partition and the legitimacy, what kind of authority would the United Nations have when you've got imperial elites running the thing in the Security Council? Please, we were born at night, but not last night. We keep track of moral and spiritual authority, not just raw power, not just raw coercion, not just raw force. And here we are now in 2024 with the American empire, with the vicious Israeli occupation, domination, genocide, ethnic cleansing. This is a Malcolm X moment. The chickens have come home to roost. Oh yeah, come home to roost. You rip off the veil, and all you talk about human rights and freedom and liberty turns out to be empty and vacuous. You can't even defund that kind of genocide in Washington, D.C., in the UK, in France, in the European countries. Please, we see you for who you are. We see you for who you are. You can put on your neoliberal glove if you want to, but you got a neo-fascist fist inside of it, and that's fascism in Gaza, that's fascism in the West Bank, and it's the logic of fascism in genocide. So I come to you still with a smile and style, because I'm still part of a black movement. Oh, yes. All of us have ROOTS, where you come from, who your mama and daddy are, who your family are. But you got to have moral and spiritual energy so that your ROUTES embraces the world as you build on the best of your ROOTS, the roots and the routes in your life. So we all come together. And we are going to stay in solidarity. We're going to fight together. We're going to struggle together. We're going to laugh together. Even if we have minor disagreements, our commitment is much deeper. We are here to make sure that the people of Gaza and West Bank live lives of decency and dignity. Palestinian dignity, Palestinian equality, Palestinian humanity, and yes, we want to see Jewish dignity. We want to see Jewish equality. We want to see Jewish safety. We want a human and humane such that we can pull back on the imperial policies, pull back on the settler colonial policies, and see the best of who we are here in Edinburgh, here all around